Hey, so I'm gonna try to do this video. I got a perm in my head. My little stand not working, but first a pencil, just a regular black pencil, just a regular black pencil. And then this pencil is cool, but if you get a pencil that has this on the end, if you can see that, that's perfect because it lets you move the hair, okay? Before you do any type of sketching, make the hair go how it's supposed to go, which is up, okay? So up, even if it's just a bush of hair, make it go up. It does help if you trim, I don't know, like if you arch your eyebrows or not, but if you trim everything around, like how you want them to look, that helps too, but you brush it up, okay? Now, after you brush up, you're gonna take your pencil, make sure it's sharp. Some of them come with a sharpener on the end. If not, you would need to get a pencil sharpener, but make sure it's sharp. What I do is, I don't draw. Like, I don't just draw, I sketch, okay? So if you look at my eyebrow, I don't go outside. I go like in the eyebrow, okay? And I typically, you could start on the end if that makes it easier. You could start up here, but I sketch. So I'm gonna try to hold the phone, but I just do right in there. And you just do a little bit at a time. So you start at the top, see that? Right in the hair, not under the hair. You want to be right on top. You don't want to make your eyebrows larger than what they actually is. You want to keep them the same. And you just want to fill in where you don't have hair. So I keep sketching at the bottom like that. You see that? So that's the bottom. Then you can go over to the other side if you want. And sketch a little bit. And then keep going. Okay, so that's the bottom. And then you move over to the top. And you're just filling in. You're just connecting. That's all you're doing. And again, you don't want to go outside of where your eyebrow is. Okay, so when you get right here, I typically don't make a line. Okay, I take my pencil and I do like that. Just how your hairs are going, I do like that. Because you don't want it to be real dark. You want your eyebrows to look as natural as possible. You see that? And then with the little brush that I was talking about, you want to do that. And this basically blends in the pencil. Okay, see that? So when I'm doing my eyebrow, I like this part to be dark. However, this not so dark because you want it again to look natural. And sometimes when you brush, you gotta go back in and fill it in like that. The drawing or the sketching does not have to be perfect because you're gonna clean it up with concealer. So that's just the foundation. You're just basically drawing the eyebrow. And again, it does not have to be perfect because you're gonna fix it with concealer. Okay? Okay, so I had to wash my hair out. So I got my eyebrows wet. So I had to redo them, but we're ready for the next step. So once you sketch, we're taking the concealer and we're gonna trace it to clean up all that stuff that's out of place. Okay, so just in case, these are concealers, okay? I do LA Girl Pro. They be in a hair store. Ooh. And then when you open it, it has like a little brush of its own. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Okay. Now, concealers come in all different colors, of course, to match your foundation. So you can go dark, light. Typically, when I'm doing concealers, especially for my eyebrows, some makeup artists will say, put a lighter concealer at the bottom. So like for me, it would probably be like this one. And then a darker one for the top that's like really close to your skin color. I don't go back and forth with two different kinds. I just typically choose the one in the middle of both. So, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I will use this. So basically, whatever color your foundation is, you want to get like a pinch lighter, just a pinch lighter than your foundation for your eyebrows, okay? So let me see if I can do this. I'm holding the phone. And I typically start at the bottom. I squeeze out a little bit, like that. See how it comes out? And then I'll wipe it a little bit because you don't want it to come out like that. You just kind of want it to be on the brush so you could just lightly do it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. So I just take it right up under and I just trace. Now, there may be an easier way to do this, like you could squeeze some out and maybe use like a really, really thin brush. Hold on. Like some people will use a brush like that. It comes in the makeup brushes. Let me see, get in front of that door. Like that. So it's real fine and it'll help you like trace. That might be better. Okay, so once you do the bottom, I typically take it. You see how it's kind of like wet? I want it to be flat as possible, so I'll pull it down like that. Any areas that has a lot, I'll just pull it down. Okay, so that's the bottom. And then we would then that's the top, see? And then, you know, depending on how it come out, you can go back in and make sure it's even. Like that. Okay, so that's typically how your eyebrow is gonna look. And we're using a brush like how I squeezed off a little bit and then I wiped off. I don't have to squeeze out at all. So once I hit the second eye, I don't have to squeeze anymore out. It's still enough on there. So you don't need much at all. And see how, you see how I got some on that side? I could just flip it. See? just like that. Like that. So it looks pretty crazy now, but you'll blend it in a minute. Okay, so next it's time for the blending. Now, I use different type of brushes. Typically, ooh, I'm sweating. Typically, whatever I can find at the time that I'm doing my makeup, but this is a good brush. You want a brush that's not soft. You want a firm brush, typically short bristles. And all you're doing is blending it in. So you don't want to touch the black because you don't want to mess up what you've already done, but you just want to get close enough so that now, I do my eyebrows before my foundation. And the reason being is because all this light spot, you're going to blend it in with your foundation. And if you do it after, I think it's pretty much harder to try to blend on top of your foundation. So, see, ooh, I'm sweating. You just keep wiping. After you've done the brush, you could then, if you want, blending sponge, these right here, and you could just pat like that. And just pat. And you're basically just patting it in. And again, like I said, when you put on your foundation, you know, that will look a little different. Now, what you want to go now is back to your brush. And you want to make them hairs go up. Okay, now, you see these lines here? That blunt line? You don't want those. So you want to take your brush and you want to do like this to get them out, okay? So you see that? It doesn't look as blunt anymore, so you do this just to get them out of there. Because you want it to look natural, and your regular eyebrows don't have a blunt cut, okay? Now, if you look at both my eyebrows, they are different. This one is kind of like up further. And that will happen. You're not going to get eyebrows that are identical because your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. And sisters typically favor each other, but they're not identical. I got a little cut on my eyebrow. But, so you just typically, you know, you could take your finger, any imperfections you see, you could take it away, you know. They're not perfect, but it's because I was trying to hold this phone and do them at the same time. So they're not real perfect because in my bathroom mirror, they look a little different. But that's basically it. And then you could then put the foundation on.